Everything that you see on this DVD are actual products that Team Korda use in their fishing. They don't use it because we're paid to use it, we use it because we think it's the best for the job. In my hand is another one of those products. It's a new addition to carp tackle tactics and tips. This is the Carp Porter by Prestige, without a doubt the best carp fishing barrow on the market. And in Danny Fairbrass's very own words, he believes it's the greatest invention that he's ever seen in his time carp fishing. So why? Quite simple really. I remember the days when I used to have to lug all that kit around lakes, traipsing around, sometimes up to a mile, and then fish start showing somewhere else. And you know what? You didn't really want to move because you had that heartache of having to put all that gear back on your shoulders and carry it around, often around a 30, 40 acre lake. The Carp Porter changed all of that. For the first time, you were able to carry volumes of kit anywhere around the venue. You know, you could take more than you probably wanted to. You could take spares, you could take more bait, and it allowed you to probably be a better angler and more mobile. This is the Mk2 Fat Boy. It's award-winning, industry-leading and scientifically proven to be the easiest to use. Its weight distribution goes all over that tyre nicely, and you really do feel like you're pushing nothing sometimes. On day trips, it couldn't be easier. And even when I've got a whole load of kit for a night session, again, the way it distributes the weight all over the barrow makes it so good to use. And let's have a look at some of the features. This is a new addition. On the older one that I've got, this wasn't on there, but this central bar, again, is detachable. But what it does, it gives real stability to the handles. So when you're pushing it, you don't get rocking and you're not putting your arms under too much tension. I used to like the workout from the old one, but this one's probably cured that now. This is one of my favourite features, and it's quite simple really. This Velcro bag gives you a lot of options in heavy rain, and it gives a nice little sanctuary for your bits and pieces. I put a camera bag in here, I put stick mixes in here, I even put odd boilie bags in there, and food. And literally, I can lock it away and have it back of the swim, nice and safe. And when I'm actually fishing, when the rain does start to fill up, you get these bits starting to sag, all I do, just give it like that, just sweep the rain away, and back it goes, fighting hard against the rain again. And this is another one of those additions they have. This is one of the accessories, but I think it's a brilliant idea. This is actually a rain cover. So once your barrow's fully loaded, you can put this over the top and just keep it there. And if you're doing short sessions and you want to be super mobile, little things like this do make a big difference, because you can be tucked under a tree or in your waterproofs, keeping out of the way, and this keeps your tackle dry as well. So really important. Let's go into some of the other elements of it. Now, what I like about all of these accessories that they have is it fits barrows, carp porters, new and old. So these can just quite simply Velcro off and they're just strapped in. Here we've got some porter pals. There's a deluxe version and a more simplified version. The deluxe version can be used to store boilies as well, because it's got a nice thermal lining inside it. So if you put freezer baits in there, it'll keep them in great tip-top condition. And have a look at this. These are really good as well, because quite simply, when you've got a bag this big that you can just push onto the front, which is obviously an additional extra, it all goes on there. You can have all your tackle and items in there, and it leaves you the opportunity to put heavier bait buckets over the wheels and everything else. Talking of wheels, let's get onto them. You've got, on this one, I've got a slightly thinner one, but it comes as standard with a slightly wider wheel. That gives you more stability on flat ground. But if you're going through a lot of muddy ground, I spoke to Alan from Carp Porter and he recommended using this thinner puncture-proof tyre. That allows you to sort of cut through mud and everything else. It's not as stable, but it doesn't half cut through that mud a lot easier. And also on the back legs, you've got these nice big mud feet, but these can also be taken off and you can put on the sort of smaller back wheels, which raise it and allows you to push the barrow more. You don't have to lift them as high, you can push them along, and again, that gives the whole thing more stability. Onto the U-bar. This is really simple. It gives you not only something to shunt sort of bags and everything against, it is totally detachable, so you can have it on or not, but if you want to keep the rods at different angles over your luggage, so you can either have it up if you want them leaning downwards, and you can have it low if you want them going skywards, depending on if you're going up hills and everything. You don't want the old rod tips smashing into the ground. What I love about all of these accessories on a Carp Porter is the fact that they're interchangeable with barrows, new and old. So if at a later stage you want to add some of these lovely luggage items to it, you can do so. And I tell you what, talking of new additions, right here is exactly that. Now, Some of you might be looking at it and thinking, that's no different. It isn't. It's got a little twist to it. This is still the Mk2 Fat Boy with a difference. This has got a Power Porter kit added to it. So for all intents and purposes, it's a Carp Porter Mk2 Fat Boy with power. And that's what we've got. You can just add this kit on. You can add the tyre, which is where all the magic happens. You can see that engine in there. There's a battery pack on the other side that just basically connects all together. You connect it to this long cable here. And I tell you what, it is an absolute dream to use. If money's no object and you want to take your standard Barrow, which you might have tweaked and got it to a level, and you want to go the whole 9 yards and just create the ultimate transportation system, this truly is it. And all round, the Prestige range, I think, is wonderful. It's well engineered. There isn't enough superlatives to describe the Carp Porter. It really has made carp fishing so much simpler. I don't even want to hazard a guess as how many extra carp it's caught people. And talking of little extras, this horn I added myself, power on, and I'm going to have a little go with my Power Porter.